know I left it in here last night.
Hmm?
Glad you're so concerned.
Oh, I told you, it's probably in the bedroom.
And if you had been listening, you would know that I already checked there for that bracelet.
Sorry.
You didn't listen to much of anything I said last night either, come to think of it.
Hey, come on. I gave you the best I had. Love.
I'm not talking about that. Talking about the fact that you didn't pay any attention to what I was saying about Stacy.
Hey, look, you're the one that said that this relationship was not to be based on crying on each other's shoulder.
I'm not crying about her. I'm just sick and tired of the way she keeps interfering in my mother's life. It's really getting to be obnoxious.
Hey, you know what else is getting obnoxious? The way you keep interfering in your mother's life.
Who's there? Well, well, well. Look who got out of jail. Well, I read in the newspaper that you've been released on bond, and that you've been charged with forgery and betrayal of the public trust. And Commissioner Hayes has relieved you of your duties.
But you know the truth, don't you, Nancy?
Well, I only know what I read in the newspaper.
Well, let me fill you in on something you didn't read in the newspaper. A nice little item. You've been fired as well.
I have not.
Would you like me to make a telephone call and confirm that?
No, you don't even have to bother. You know why? Because I couldn't care less about that stupid job anyway.
But at least it was a job, Nancy, which was more than you've got right now and more than you will have. Your name was right alongside mine in all those stories in the paper. No one's gonna hire you.
Hey, don't worry about me. I always land on my feet.
Not always, Nancy. Not this time.
Well, I guess you won't have to be worrying about room and board for a long time, seeing as it'll be provided courtesy of the state.
Same as you before too long.
Oh, what is this? Vicki Lang predicts? I mean, they should give you a column in the Chronicle.
Nancy, everyone believes you were just as deeply involved in this as I was, and everyone is very anxious to prove it. I'm going to help them.
Well, let them try, but I'm not worried. You know why? Because there is no proof.
Yes, there is. There's no such thing as a perfect crime, Nancy. It's just a matter of time.
You don't bother me with your threats.
Tell me, until you do join me in prison, where are you going to be staying?
Why?
Well, it's a simple question, really. Where?
Well, here, of course.
Oh, really? Is the lease in your name?
No.
Right. You are my guest, Nancy. Correction. You were my guest, but you're leaving now.
I'm not interfering in my mother's life.
Well, what do you call it then?
I'm trying to help her see where her future lies.
Boy, and I thought I came up with some lines.
I resent that.
I'm sure you do. But all the resentment in the world is not going to change the fact that you're accusing her of what you yourself are doing. And you're even more obnoxious about it because you're so self-righteous.
Well, I certainly don't have the corner on that market, do I?
Who is that directed at, me or Stacy?
Both of you, the dynamic duo. You get yourself into trouble and she bails you out. She goes around destroying what little family harmony we have left, and you defend her.
I'm not defending her.
Sure sounds that way to me. Look, why don't you just stay out of this completely?
Well, I'd like to if you'd let me.
Gladly.
Well, on that happy note, this down but not defeated contractor is going to go to work. We gonna have lunch today?
I don't know. I have a pretty heavy morning. Call me.
Okay. You know, Amber, you're not really being fair to Stacy.
I thought you weren't defending her.
Well, this has nothing to do with that. You know, you've always said that she was about as exciting as cold oatmeal, and shy and immature and self-conscious. She's none of those things.
Well, you've changed your tune. You used to think so.
Well, that's because all I knew about her is what you told me.
What's your point?
Well, not really much of one. It's just that, in light of that fact, I'm wondering how much of an ogre your dad really is. See ya.
Other than that, how does she seem?
Oh, you know how Lori is. She gets a little pouty when she doesn't get her way and everything. But she's really been the model patient. Marjorie says she may have to spend the rest of her pregnancy here in the hospital, though. Lori doesn't know that yet.
Before you tell her, you tell me so I can get out of the building.
Me? I'm not going to tell her. I'm going to let Marjorie do it. Listen, Terry, Lori was supposed to run a few errands for me for the fundraiser. I know it's a real imposition, but I was wondering if you could pinch hit.
Why not?
Great. Thank you.
A few?
Well, you know,
Aren't you the same guy who sold me the Brooklyn Bridge?
one and the same. Hey, we should count our blessings, though. Kate is the one who's doing the lion's share of the work.
You sure about that?
No. I'll tell you one thing, though. Dave is like a changed person since he started working with her.
He hasn't said anything about a reconciliation.
No, but he hasn't given up hope. They really work well together.
Well, after all those years of marriage, I can understand that. Scott and I were the same way. You know, when you've been married to somebody for a long time, you develop a sixth sense about them. You tune into nonverbal ways.
Well, they're definitely tuned in, but it's strictly business.
You know, I hope that Kate really uses this time as a way to see that Dave has really changed. He is one of the most dedicated and compassionate men. I think she'd be foolish not to take him back.
Just hold on here.
I warned you, Nancy. I asked you to leave politely, and you refused.
Be careful.
You want to do this?
No, I want to stay.
Wanting ain't getting, kiddo.
Vicki, look, and suppose I said I was sorry.
I don't know. What if you said you were sorry, huh?
Well, would you stop this foolishness?
Depends on what you're sorry for.
Well, I'm sorry all these bad things have happened to you.
Oh, you're all heart, Nancy.
Vicki, that is my best dress. Will you just put it down?
Sure. There, I put it down.
Oh, I've had it. I'm calling the police.
Please do. I could use the help. In fact, let me. You are now trespassing.
Don't you dare!
Are you leaving?
No, I'm not! You're gonna regret this.
No, Nancy, but you are.
Now you can't call anyone.
It's all right. I will get the last of your things, and I will make the call from next door.
Vicki, look, I have nowhere to go!
You should have thought of that before, Nancy.
Well, look, just one more night, okay?
Not even one more minute. Should be the last of it.
Well, I'm not going anywhere.
Why, you little sneak. You've been hiding money in your pockets.
What?
I think I'll just help myself. I can call it back rent.
Vicki, put it down! It doesn't belong to you. There's nothing in there that
Sucker!
You tricked me!
That's right. And you can forget looking in your purse for the keys, Nancy, because I already removed them.
Vicki! Come on!
Mrs. Davidson?
Hope I didn't wake you.
No, not at all.
I just dropped by to see how you're feeling, see if I can get anything for you.
Yeah, Superman comic book.
What?
Some ginger ale. When I was a kid, I was sick. I always got those two things.
Well, I think I can help you out with the ginger ale.
Thanks, that'd be nice.
How's the pain?
Well, it hurts when I breathe. You know what just happened to me? I just got a sponge bath from a nurse that I fired when I was working here. She treated me like I was the most important person in the hospital. It's pretty interesting, huh?
She's a professional. I wouldn't expect her to be any other way.
She's a human being. Just begin to realize what that's all about.
From Marianne?
Yeah, been reading a little bit of it. Some of it's pretty hard to understand, even scary.
And some of it's pretty comforting.
For those who've already got together, sure.
But very few of us have it together by ourselves. I mean, that's why Jesus came
I
to...
know. Marianne keeps telling me that. I don't see it. I got a lot of years behind me of things that I'm not too proud of. And those things made me see hell. Did she tell you?
Your out-of-body experience.
It's pretty weird. Frightening, actually. I can't explain it any other way than just that. But I know I was there, and I know it's a preview of where I'm going for the life that I've led.
Hell is God's judgment on those who refuse to believe.
Believe? Oh, I believe all right. I believe that's where I'm headed. I believe that there's nothing I can do to stop it.
Forget it, Nancy. I told you I am not interested.
What if it's not Nancy? Still not interested?
Peter?
I hope so. Hi. So this is what a garage sale looks like when you live in an apartment?
No, this is what it looks like when an unwanted guest is forcibly evicted.
Aunt Nancy?
Yeah.
Good for you. Can I come in?
Oh, yeah, sure. How did you know I was out of jail?
Gene Redlin, down at the courthouse.
Great. My name will be in all the papers again.
Yeah. Want to save me a quarter? Tell me what they're going to say?
Well, I can tell you what they won't say. The district attorney is out to nail me. Apparently, he views this as one of the great crimes against humanity.
What about your lawyer?
My lawyer keeps telling me that everything is fine, except that every once in a while he sneaks in this little comment about if I do have to spend time in jail, it'll only be for 6 months or so. I really hate lawyers. Oh, but I don't know why I'm complaining. I brought all this on myself.
Why? Why, Vicky?
It's a million-dollar question, isn't it? Gil Prescott was everything I'd heard didn't exist in a guy anymore. He was attentive, romantic, a considerate lover, assertive, the right characteristics all used at the right time, and all expertly used to get just exactly what he wanted from me. You know, Peter, women complain a lot about how stupid men are, about how easily they fall for surface charms. Let me tell you something. They've got nothing on us. Words I love you can be followed by just about anything and we'll believe it. I did. Why did I do it? Because he made me look stupid. That's been my one greatest fear all my life, Peter. To be made to look like a complete and total idiot.
So you made him look like one.
That was the idea, anyway. Look what the surprise ending I got. The one thing I was most afraid of.
How long was I dead?
2 minutes, maybe a little longer.
That's not unusual, is it?
Well, let's put it this way. Clinical death is reported a lot more than it used to be, but maybe that's because we have more sophisticated equipment to show us what's going on. I really don't know. I will say this, though. It's not routine.
Never had a patient do what I did before?
No, you're the first one.
So I get a special rate then, huh?
Yeah, you do. More expensive one.
Try and get it out of me. So, Mary Ann said anything to you?
About your afterlife experience?
Yeah.
She told me.
You don't happen to have a medical opinion about that, do you?
You were dead.
Yeah, that's good. What I mean is, well, I was wondering if there's a medical explanation for what I saw, what I felt.
I know, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be flip. It's just that there's always some Yahoo doctor who thinks he's an expert on everything and is only too willing to give you all his opinions. You know. One explanation has to do with chemical changes in the fluids between the synapses, that sort of thing.
You don't buy that?
No, no. But I also don't go along with male obstetricians telling their patients what it feels like to have a baby. Or offer unusual insight into things I really don't have intimate knowledge of.
Well, if you were to venture an opinion, say, based on the information that you know, what you've heard, what would you think?
Well, I'll say this much. The Bible tells me that hell is a real place, and whether you like it or not, your description isn't unlike what it says.
So I've been finding out. You don't think that I'm
A little crazy?
crazy?
No, no. A lot of people have had the same experience.
Great bunch we would be all together, huh? So, how long have you been, how long have you believed in God?
Since my freshman year in college, I guess. I mean, I took one look at those co-eds and I knew I was going to need some help.
Yeah, didn't we all?
No, actually, it was my freshman year, but I didn't start acting on it until I was a senior.
What do you mean?
Oh, it's a long story, really. I guess the simplest way to explain it is I finally realized that my actions and my beliefs weren't consistent. And since my actions weren't making me all that happy, I decided to give living my beliefs a try.
That's what I gotta do. Change my actions.
Well, that's fine and good, Russ, but let me tell you something. You can't change your actions on the outside until you've changed on the inside.
Well, that may be a little bit easier said than done, Ben. I don't know if I could change on the inside.
Sure you could. Just give your heart to the Lord.
Well, I don't know about that, but I do know about myself. I ain't been all that good. I screwed up too much. That can't change.
Vicky, I'm sorry about everything.
It's supposed to be my line, isn't it? I just wish I could say that to the judge and have him leave it at that.
I don't guess you're gonna get to have a lot of visitors where you're going, huh?
I don't even know where that is. Although my lawyer, who says I won't be going there, said something about a minimum security prison in Loing is a good possibility.
Yeah, that's only 3 hours from here.
Don't worry, I won't be expecting you.
I'll try. I really will.
Sure.
I will.
You've always been there when I needed you, haven't you, Peter?
Tried to be.
I don't know why you bothered. I mean, for the most part, I've never really given you much encouragement.
Except for those times when you gave me a little bit too much.
Even then, I was pretty obnoxious. If you don't mind a girl asking, and if it's not too immodest, what did you see in me?
Same things I still see. Girl who's very vulnerable, generous, and attractive. Someone with a very tender heart.
I don't feel like any of those things right now.
We're not talking about how you feel.
Thank you, Peter. I don't suppose Gil said anything about all this, has he?
Well, you know him,
And I probably don't want to hear it, right?
yeah.
Look at me. I have done it again. I mean, there you go, opening yourself up to me, and what do? I'm talking about Gil.
Hey, Don't worry about it. I understand
no,
why you would...
You don't understand. God, am I pathetic. I really deserve everything that's
Vicky,
happening
will you
right-
stop it? Just stop it. You're being so hard on yourself. Okay, you made a mistake. Man, you're so far ahead of everybody you're going to be dealing with in the next few months. See, you've admitted that you're wrong. That takes a lot. It's a lot more than Gil's ever done. You're special. You're different. I don't want you to lose that. And I don't think you have to.
If you don't visit, will you at least write?
You know I will. Yeah.
Peter, I'm really sorry for the way I've treated you. You know, when I've been with you, I've never gotten anything but acceptance and respect. Even after everything I've done. There aren't many people like you. Thank you, Peter. I can't believe I've given all this away.
Nancy, didn't my secretary tell you I didn't want to be disturbed?
Yeah, but your secretary wasn't out there, Terry. Look, I'm sorry about the other day. That was the alcohol speaking.
I see. So what's speaking now?
Me, your sister.
Yes, my sister. A woman who refuses to
No, look,
accept...
Terry, I know, you're right. I have a problem, and I have to talk with you.